have they ever. Made a couple of changes during the bye week, and they have been one of the hottest teams in all of college football at the FCS level. Tyler Madsen is the kickoff specialist. He boots it away, and off we go with a UAC clash. And it is Rand Sawyer bringing it out from the end zone, looking for some space, gets to the outside, and Sawyer stays on his feet for a moment and is eventually corralled. Good tackle there by Kyle Vogt, the backup linebacker. And so out comes this Southern Utah offense, and Josh Dye has done simply a remarkable job picking up where Targi Lamson left off last year, and he is closing in on Lamson's single-season SUU rushing record.
As I say, here in Cedar City, it's felt a little bit like Groundhog Day last year, record watching through the back end of the season. This year, it's been no different. You see over 1,500 yards already and the 22 touchdowns to lead the FCS in rushing touchdowns.
He's closing in on a couple of records this year, has 2 games to add to his total behind that Southern Utah offensive line that Coach Brown for the Bears says is as good as anyone in the league. They start with a quick toss out to Gabe Nunez, and he picks up a few. And you'll see that from Will Brunson plenty. This is a power running team, Southern Utah, but they will throw in the RPO to keep a defense off balance.
And those are what Bronson Barron is best at. Just looking at the numbers on the outside, trusting Gabe Nunez in those one-on-one situations to get positive yards.
3 yards on first down, staying on schedule, a big key for Coach Fitzgerald and his offense coming into this game. It's something he's talked about a lot with the way they run the ball. He feels really good about what they can do if they stay ahead of the sticks. And Shane Carr, off a career day last week, is tackled just short of the line to gain 3rd down and 2 for Greg Williams and this Central Arkansas defense. They have got a tall task ahead of them to contain these Southern Utah weapons.
Yeah, and it starts with the threat of Josh Dye in the backfield. Central Arkansas honing in on the rushing attack early, leaving those playmakers open outside.
Dye is the tailback. Southern Utah goes with the dummy count. Boy, there were a couple Bears that leaned over the ball, but Southern Utah didn't flinch to try to get a free first down. Barron, the toss, Dye engulfed in the backfield, and it's a 3 and out. Breaking through Gary Lewis, up to 7.5 TFLs on the year, and a great start for Central Arkansas.
And just a great get off there from Lewis to get into the backfield and get a tackle for loss, something that's not easy to do against this Southern Utah rushing attack.
So on comes Danny King to punt, 3rd and short. Turns into Southern Utah kicking it away. King with a good end-over-end punt, although it drifted a little further right than he wanted. We'll see where they end up spotting it. The official's still walking up the sideline. He's got it at the 36-yard line. So just a 36-yard punt for King, who's averaging 42 per boot on the year. And so we flip over and get a look at this Central Arkansas offense. And Delane Fitzgerald said, if we've got the best running back in the country, they might have the 2nd best in Landon Chambers.
Yeah, you see Chambers on the season, 8 rushing touchdowns, over 1,100 yards, has really been the most consistent part of the Central Arkansas offense.
Play action pass on first down, caught in the flat. That is Ty Durham, who has got blistering speed and a good start for Central Arkansas quarterback Austin Myers. For more on him, here's the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Kendall McGuire.
Quarterback Austin Myers took the starting job back over in Week 5 after an injury. He's still playing on that broken foot that will require surgery postseason, but he's been super successful in the pocket, throwing for nearly 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns, completing nearly 60% of his passes, Spencer.
Yeah, he is an ultimate warrior back there, and he, with 2 completions, that one to Malachi Henry, has moved Central Arkansas into Southern Utah territory at the 35-yard line. But playing on that broken foot, he will not do a lot of running, if any at all, but as you can see, more than capable with his arm.
And it's just those RPOs, seeing the numbers on the outside, easy completions.
Goes play action here, running on that foot, throws to the far side. Another completion. He is 3 for 3. A couple of tosses to Ty Durham. The Coffeyville Community College transfer, 4 catches all of last week for 40 yards and a touchdown. He's got 2 on this drive, and 3 plays have yielded 3 first downs for Central Arkansas. Myers finally hands the ball off, and not a lot doing up the middle at this Southern Utah defense. Landon Chambers, what a season he's having, replacing Shunderick Powell from a year ago, 5th leading rusher in all of FCS. And both of these programs have just done a remarkable job and shown that as talented as those guys were last year, it is about more than just one player with how successful they are running the ball.
And it's about finding those right players to come in and replace the stalwart backs from a year ago. Both programs did a great job finding those replacements.
Chambers, the 6', 220-pound sophomore from Keller, Texas. He lead blocks here, and Southern Utah is ready for the fly sweep. And gave it on the end around to Tristan Edwards, the wide receiver. So suddenly a 3rd down and long for this Bears offense.
That was a great job by the Southern Utah defense, pushing the speed sweep all the way to the sideline, not allowing Central Arkansas to get north and south. Now time for a 3rd and long. Central Arkansas needs to find number 7, Lando Brown, for Southern Utah.
Brown is standing up behind Joe Tongamoa at the nose guard. He rushes up the middle, the first of 4. The throw incomplete, contact and a flag. 2 of them come down. Raymond Crump made the early hit on Arlie Lee, and he didn't have to do it.
Now just trying to be overly aggressive there, trying to get to the ball, but Crump could have just waited for Central Arkansas to complete the pass and make the tackle and force 4th down.
Austin Myers, 4 of 5 for 42 yards on this opening drive. If they're able to pay it off with a touchdown, be a dream start for 8th-year head coach Nathan Brown. Myers pulls, zips, passes caught, tackle is made, but another completion, this time to Tyrell Pollard, and Austin Myers spreading the ball around.
And it's just the simple RPOs for the Bears, taking the one-on-one coverage outside as Southern Utah tries to stop the run.
Myers does hand it off this time. Up the middle, stumbling goes Chambers, so another 3rd down as he's a couple yards short of the line to gain. Central Arkansas coming off a 41-38 loss in Clarksville against Austin Peay last week. Myers in that game, 19 of 35, 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. See what he's got here on 3rd down and 2. Southern Utah just showed some pressure. It is not Chambers in the backfield. It is Cam Young, the running back. He's got the carry. He's got the 1st down. Goal to go for Central Arkansas. They spot him at the 2-yard line, and on 3rd down and short, the Central Arkansas offensive line makes a big push.
Yeah, and just a great push, as you said, from the offensive line. Easy pickup on 3rd and short. Now imagine on this opening drive, Central Arkansas in 4-down territory, goal to go.
They ran right behind the preseason 3rd-team All-American Will Diggins, the 2022 ASUN Freshman of the Year. Chambers back in there. Myers has it, throws the slant. It's a touchdown, and Malachi Henry with his team-leading 8th grab for 6 this season, and Central Arkansas with an impressive opening start on the road.
Now it was a great opening drive script there for Central Arkansas, moving the ball down the field, and it's the arm of Myers that got it done. Southern Utah keying in on the rushing attack. Austin Myers made him pay, going 6 for 6 for 50 yards on that opening drive.
Quite the start. Caleb Jones, who is quite the story, on for the extra point. It is up and pulled it a little, but got it through.
Defense gave the Bears on that opening drive in the RPO game. Myers made a Southern Utah pay with some softer coverage.
So Southern Utah will look for a bounce back here. Sawyer lets it go through the end zone for a touchback. Josh Dye, 1 carry outside the tackles for -2 yards in that first sequence for Southern Utah on offense, and a guy that just has such incredible home run speed, and oftentimes it comes on runs outside, but really it's his ability to go up the middle and veer out that makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, and it's his wearing out of opposing defenses. In that first half, he'll go power, 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 and wear that defensive front down, and then break outside for the breakaway speed.
See how he gets featured here on the second drive. He goes up the middle. He breaks 1 tackle, keeps the legs churning, and gains 8 yards on first down.
That's a good opening play for Southern Utah on this second drive. Give it to Dye up the middle after getting tackled in the backfield on his lone carry. Get him back into that rhythm.
Coming into today, needs 380 yards to tie Targi Lamson's mark from a year ago, which for mere mortals at running back in 2 games seems like a tall mountain to climb, as big as the mountains that are here in Cedar City and the surrounding area. But for Josh Dye, that is incredibly possible, as Shane Carr has Southern Utah's first down of the game. Dye last week in the win against Eastern Kentucky, 33 carries, 221 yards, and 3 scores.
And it was just a constant variable for Southern Utah a week ago. Dye consistently getting 4 or 5 yards a carry. Had a couple that he broke out big as well, but it's consistently falling forward for positive yards that can wear a defense down.
Hayden George goes in motion. He's got the catch in the flat with plenty of room. Hayden George, the Nevada transfer, tight ropes, and he's able to move the sticks. His 13th catch of the year, had 2 for 6 yards all of last week. He goes back past that with 1 catch.
And that's just an easy RPO read for Barron. George motions across behind the line of scrimmage into the flat. Barron pulls it and dishes it outside for the easy pitch and catch.
Doesn't run like a guy who's 6'4", 235. As Josh Dye on first down is lassoed down to the turf. That is Ashton Williams, their second leading tackler, sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Dye's not a player that it's easy to get tackles one-on-one with in the open field. Something head coach Nathan Brown for Central Arkansas talked about. Need to swarm the ball against Southern Utah, get multiple hats on Dye when he's rushing the ball.
Getting a lot of hats to the football, a point of emphasis for both coaches coming into this UAC showdown in late November. Barron wants a deep ball, downing back shoulder, incomplete. Stride for stride coverage that time, blanketed by Damari Smith, and it's 3rd and 7.
And Downing just loses his footing trying to come back to the back shoulder throw. Otherwise might have had a chance to make a play on the ball. Southern Utah 3rd down and a bit behind the sticks at 3rd and 7, but don't be surprised to see Southern Utah still run it, try to go for it on 4th down.
On the plus side of midfield, always a possibility. We'll see what Will Brunson dials up here. That is Anson Kraut, who had a big game last week. Going in motion. Barron to throw, shovels, caught by Dye, and he can't get away. Williams again able to corral the Thunderbirds tailback, and it's decision time for Southern Utah. And it looks like the punting team is coming onto the field at the 44-yard line of Central Arkansas.
And Dye just didn't quite get enough yardage there for Delane Fitzgerald to feel comfortable going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you're kind of caught in no man's land here. 4th down and 5. It'd be a 61-yard field goal. King has been good downing punts inside the 20 this year. He should have another one. It gets a great bounce, and Southern Utah wisely lets it go down to the 3-yard line. A 41-yard beauty, and the Bears are backed up inside their own 5. Danny King with his 12th punt down inside the 20. Southern Utah's defense looking for a stop when we get back. Let's go to Kendall.
SUU legendary quarterback Justin Miller is back in the house tonight after winning MVP of the German Football League. He said it was such a cool experience playing overseas and working with guys with less experience but just as much talent. In regards to being back in Cedar tonight, he said it's incredible to be back and have English speakers, but he doesn't miss the prices of food here, Spencer.
Oh, yeah, one of the nicest guys you will ever come across, Justin Miller, having success overseas. Mikey Allen is going to be flagged for defensive pass interference here. Brandon McLean, our head referee. That was a deep shot taken to Malachi Henry. Well, the game plan for Central Arkansas head coach Nathan Brown, who calls the plays, a concerted effort to throw the ball.
And I think it's because Southern Utah has been loading the box here early, trusting Myers to make those one-on-one throws.
So breathing room via penalty. Pulls it out of Chambers' stomach. There is another RPO completion. That is Tyrell Pollard. And he cut right in front of Blake Stillwell that time. And this has just been a surgical attack from this Bears offense.
And every time Myers sees that off coverage on one of his wideouts, he pulls and throws on the RPO for that quick post route. Still with a strong start for the quarterback.
Shovel pass here to Chambers, and Southern Utah ready for it. Mason Stromstad breaks through to hold it to no gain. Kendall, what do you have on Mason Stromstad?
Mason Stromstad and Henry Harper both had 5 tackles and a sack last week at Eastern Kentucky. Delane Fitzgerald said the defense has been better since these two have stepped up after the bye week. The defense hasn't allowed more than 24 points since the bye, which only happened once beforehand. Back to you, Spencer.
Yeah, it has been a defensive revolution on that side of the ball. And right now they're trying to figure out how to contain this Bears passing offense. Chambers on the ground, and he is stopped behind the line. Lincoln Tuioti Mariner soaring in from the secondary, and it's 3rd and long.
The Southern Utah rush defense has come to play here early tonight. Just need to find that help on the back end as well for Thunderbirds as they try to get off the field now, 3rd and long.
Bears just 36.5% on 3rd down offensively this year. See where Myers looks on a 3rd down and long. Steps up, rolls out on that injured foot, tosses incomplete. Christian was covering Chambers out of the backfield. Would have been a heck of an effort, and this is a throw Austin Myers very easily could have had.
And Myers did a good job getting out of the pocket to avoid the pressure. Just put a little too much on it for Chambers there, who ran a great route on the scramble drill.
Certainly would have been a tough throw, but one Myers, I'm sure, expects to make with how he has started this game. So Trace Beard, the senior from French Camp, Mississippi, is on to punt. Gabe Nunez back deep. High punt. Nunez goes down to the ground, makes the catch. They spot him at the 23-yard line. A 41-yard punt, no return. Southern Utah's offense trying a bit, averaging 37.5 points per game allowed over their last 2. Both losses. They've lost 3 straight coming into today. Barron still has the ball, throws downfield. Is that caught? No, they say incomplete. Boy, it would have been remarkable squeeze by Nunez. Good coverage there by Jacoby McQuiller, the Bears' leading tackler.
Boy, that was a lot closer than I thought watching live.
Certainly was. I haven't seen an indication Southern Utah wants to get a review here, nor has there been a booth-initiated review. So 2nd down and 10. Barron has it again over the middle. There is an incomplete pass. Mark Dorsey, the Coahoma Community College transfer, with 5 pass breakups on the season. That's now tied for the team lead, and it's 3rd down and 10.
And 2 quick incompletions now put Southern Utah back in 3rd and long, with Josh Dye not touching the ball on either of the first 2 plays.
Feels like Southern Utah is trying to do what Central Arkansas has done, which is distract you with the strong rushing attack and try to hit the passing plays, but the Bears secondary has been up to the task. See what they do on 3rd down and 10. Barron looks, throws, Nunez, 1st down. When in doubt, have 19 go to the sticks, and he'll get open. Southern Utah keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, that's a great route from Nunez. On 3rd down, ran right past the sticks, and then once he caught the ball, turned and fell forward to leave no doubt. Southern Utah converts on 3rd down for the first time tonight.
Thunderbirds have been a good 3rd down team, 45.5% entering this game. They get the ball to Josh Dye. And just kind of picks his way forward, but picks up 4 yards, and that's been a hallmark of this Southern Utah rushing attack since Delane Fitzgerald arrived. Very rarely are they tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
And it's a credit to the running backs, but also the offensive line as well, where they just move the defensive front of the opposing teams backwards to allow the running backs to get in those rushing lanes.
Dye is offset to the right of this formation. He goes in the flat. Barron goes the other way, and he hooks up with Devin Downing for a 1st down. Sludging his way along as he gets popped out of bounds by Nyland Jones. And Devin Downing had 1 catch for 6 yards last week, and he moves the sticks here.
And I think we could probably count on one hand the number of times Southern Utah's come out with no running backs in the backfield with Barron this year.
2 men in the backfield here. Whistler flares out, catches the pass, has some room to work. Gets a great block from Nunez as he surges across the 35. I think he's just short of the line to gain. Williams and Jones over there to make the stop. But Josh Dye is decoy extraordinaire for Southern Utah today.
Yeah, and Southern Utah playing numbers games again. Whistler, a great receiving back out of the backfield, just goes out on the flare. Pick up 9 yards there, 2nd and short to start the 2nd quarter. That
is where things will end. Through 1 in Cedar City, Central Arkansas is on top. Thunderbirds on the march when we get back to Eccles Coliseum. Yeah, Nathan Brown was direct and to the point on that one. And it is hard to not be worried about number 7 coming off the edge. If you're an offensive coordinator and play caller, Josh Dye looks like he's actually short of the line to gain there on 2nd and short. And the Southern Utah offensive line, not necessarily the biggest at every spot, but they have been so effective all season long. And you got to credit what this Central Arkansas defensive line has been able to do in keeping Josh Dye contained so far.
Yeah, the front 7 for Central Arkansas has done a great job of getting into the backfield, forcing Dye to make people miss early on once he touches the ball.
Third down and less than a yard. The shotgun handoff, Dye just scurries forward. He's got the 1st down, didn't need much, and that is what he was able to get. Well, Southern Utah's defense, we mentioned, has taken such huge steps forward since the bye week. That's a big reason for their 4-game winning streak. But the offense has been rolling all season long, Dallin. No FBS opponents on their schedule this year. But regardless of that fact, 24 or more points in every single game this season. And that 24-point effort was against a ranked, at the time, West Georgia team. This offense has just been clicking from the moment the season began.
And it's been the most consistent part of the Southern Utah team this year. Is right on cue, they get a false start.
All right, that one's on me.
Offense, number 51. First down.
And not only did you cause the false start, but a false start on the center, Ed Riley, at that.
That is not something you see very often from the veteran who went through the senior day festivities, 18 of them on this Southern Utah team. And there is a lot of young production on this Thunderbirds roster as well. It has them excited about what future seasons could hold, and Shane Carr not able to come up with that one. Ashton Williams was bearing down on the Thunderbirds wideout, but if he had not been able to make the play, there was a lot of room to work.
And you saw Carr there just turn his head before he caught the ball, trying to look upfield on where he needed to make a play happen. Not quite holding the pass. Now 2nd and 15 after the incompletion and penalty.
Behind the sticks, they give to Dye. He looks for a lane, and boy, he always looks so close to breaking it out. That jump cut, just such a dynamic part of his repertoire.
And you see it here, just gets upfield as soon as he sees a sliver of green grass. Finds a way to get positive yards, but another 3rd and long for Southern Utah. Usually they live ahead of the sticks, but tonight they've been behind the sticks almost all night.
Carmelo Allen got him from behind, or else he might have had a chance to make a house call. 3rd down, 12 to go. Southern Utah needs the 23-yard line. They go with a screen to Nunez. He's got a convoy, wiggles through. Nunez lunges forward, and he's just short. It'll be 4th and 2, well within the range of either of Southern Utah's kickers. But it looks like Delane Fitzgerald is leaving the offense on the field on 4th down. Central Arkansas's defense this year has allowed 14 of 25 on 4th. They give to Dye. He runs right. He fights. He's still on his feet. Josh Dye out of the pack for a touchdown. And the Thunderbirds are still perfect on 4th down. 17 for 17.
And Dye does a good job of fighting until he knows he has the yard to gain and then somehow gets out of the convoy for 6.
Looked like he was trotting once he hit the afterburners. Breakaway speed. Jaden Rogers on for the extra point to tie things up. 12 plays, 77 yards, 5:38 comes off the game clock. And we're tied at 7 on a 25-yard touchdown for Josh Dye, his 23rd of the year. We got a ball game brewing here in Cedar City.
And players, if they get it to 4th and short, almost from anywhere on the field, he's willing to trust that offensive line to get the 1st down.
Danny King boots this through the end zone, and back comes the Central Arkansas offense onto the field. For more on that, here's Kendall.
Central Arkansas head coach Nathan Brown is the most successful quarterback in UCA history. He was inducted into their Sports Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility in 2016, then became the head football coach the next year in 2017. This is his first season calling plays as the head coach, but he said not much changes in his preparation during the week. Spencer, back to you.
And he's off to a good start so far. His quarterback, Austin Myers, 8 of 10 for 68 yards and a touchdown. He's rolling here. He chucks it down the field, and it is knocked away. Boy, that was tremendous by Cam Roca. Ty Durham was going to get his hands on that, if not for the one-time Sac State transfer.
Yeah, initially it looked like it was a throwaway from Myers. Then all of a sudden it looks like it's a completed pass down the sideline. But Cam Roca with a great late deflection to get his hand on the ball.
Second-year Thunderbird came over last season and has reemerged in the second half of this year as a player in that SU secondary. On the ground, and Chambers is dragged down to the turf. Parker Andrus in there to make the stop. We'll see if they give him a loss. No, they go forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, but a 3rd down and 10. The Bears today 1 for 2 on 3rd down. Orlando Brown almost came across there at the bottom of the defensive line formation. A sack would put him back into the national lead at the FCS ranks. Brown, a shovel pass here. He doesn't get a chance to make a play, and the tackle made short for Chambers by about a yard. Josh Dunn got over there and was able to make the stop. We'll see if Coach Brown rolls the dice here deep in his own territory, and he's sending on the punting unit.
And it didn't convert on 3rd down, but a great play call from Coach Brown there on 3rd and 10, using the speed of Lando Brown against Southern Utah. Let him get into the backfield and then throw the shovel pass right behind him.
I mentioned earlier, Delane Fitzgerald talked about the importance of staying on schedule, as that punt just barely gets away. And Nunez let that one bounce. It goes out, and Southern Utah's offense will be back on the field. Bears got off schedule, missed that 1st down by a...
Consistently give him carries. He's bound to break it free like he did on that touchdown run.
And he is the tailback next to Bronson Barron on 1st down and 10, and he's got the football. To the outside he goes. Dye looking for a lane, and just as we were discussing, Dallin, getting Josh Dye the ball, as he goes throughout a game, he seems to get better and better.
It doesn't. Running back is a position where you need to get them into a rhythm, consistently give them carries, allow them to get a feel of the game.
Southern Utah playing with some tempo. Barron pulls it out, looks downfield, and checks it down in the flat. Hayden Erickson, as flags fly, Barron got hit. Hayden Erickson, that's his 1st catch of the year if it stands. Looked like this might be an extra 15.
And it looked like Barron got hit after he threw it.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
That is the Henderson State transfer. Jacoby Shell was hunting his 2nd sack of the year. Instead, a gain on 1st down turns into an extra 15. And Delane Fitzgerald was out on the field, had words for somebody. I don't know if that was the Bears for hitting his quarterback late, or someone on his side that he wanted to play that differently.
And it looked like it was a little bit of miscommunication there on the play once Barron threw the ball on the routes.
Josh Dye to the right side. Josh Dye up the middle, and he is starting to get in a groove down to the 27-yard line. And Southern Utah playing with tempo here. Central Arkansas not even close to ready. Dye runs to the right, and he's got 4 yards on 1st down. Boy, you talk about warp speed there from the Thunderbirds offense. Central Arkansas didn't have a defensive lineman with his hand in the grass.
And they caught Central Arkansas subbing as well with the defensive substitution.
Yeah, looks like there's an issue with Brandon McLean's mic, so Josh Dye doesn't get the yardage to add to his potentially record-breaking season, but Southern Utah gets 1st down and 5. Couple of Dye runs and 15 yards. A short completion for Bronson Barron have flipped the field for this Thunderbirds offense. Dye trying to pick his way through. This time he is caught He gets snared in the mousetrap there. Nice play going right up the middle. That's Carmelo Allen, the redshirt freshman from Fordyce, Arkansas. Not the biggest guy to play on the interior of the defensive line, but really sound with his fundamentals.
Yeah, and he got the tackle, but it was Bradley Clark, the nose guard, that broke the play up in the backfield for Southern Utah, pushing Ed Riley back into die. Now it's 2nd down and 4 after a short gain.
Carr, the man in motion. Barron takes off up the middle. Bronson Barron slides right at the line to gain. They give him the 1st down.
And I don't think that's a design quarterback draw, but Barron recognizes the free blitzer early and just tucks it and takes it right up the middle.
Not a guy that runs very often. I mean, the 4-yard burst felt like an eruption by his standards. That's usually left to Will Burns, the backup quarterback, who Delane Fitzgerald has dubbed as the future of the Southern Utah program as a signal caller. But it has been all Barron so far. He hands it off to Dye up the middle. And he goes into the car wash, picks up a couple. There again is Allen on the stop, getting some help from Travion Traylor, the Northwest Missouri transfer.
And you're starting to see Central Arkansas key in on Dye once again, crowding the box. Don't be surprised if Southern Utah and Bronson Barron pull one out of Dye's stomach for a pass.
Second down and 8. Dye veers to the left, accelerates. Josh Dye with a record-setting touchdown. A 15-yard scamper, and no one in Southern Utah history has scored more touchdowns on the ground in a season than that man, Josh Dye.
And just as I was saying, you keep giving the ball to number 28 because eventually he'll break free out of the car wash as he did there, getting to the outside for the record-breaking touchdown, giving Southern Utah the lead.
He came into today with 22. Lamson last year had 23, and Josh Dye has hit the end zone 24 times this season. Rogers still perfect on his extra points. On it here in this first half.
And they didn't give up on giving Dye the ball after being shut down the first few drives. Bronson Barron kept Southern Utah in it with his arm, but the last 2 drives have been all Josh Dye.
He is up to 87 yards and 2 touchdowns, with touchdown runs of 25 and 15. Delane Fitzgerald said it's fun watching him be the focus for other teams' defensive game plans, and it just hasn't seemed to matter very much.
I'm sure Delane Fitzgerald likes watching other coaches game plan against him and having him on this Southern Utah sideline. One of those players that nobody wants to find a game plan for.
He entered today the 2nd leading rusher in the country. The 5th leading rusher has been kept in check because Austin Myers has been in a rhythm. He stays in one here. On target that time to Tyrell Pollard. Landon Chambers, 4 carries for 3 yards as we have 6:40 to go in a fast-moving first half. Speaking of fast-moving, here's the Bears offense again with a quick hitter. This time it's the tight end Jackson Kostmeyer with just his 2nd reception of the year. First ball he's caught in 2 weeks. Junior originally from Biloxi, Mississippi.
Chambers, being the decoy for this Bears offense, has allowed Myers to get those easy completions on the RPO.
This time he gets the ball. He bounces to the left, and here goes Landon Chambers for his longest run of the day. Chopped down by Tavian Edwards, the freshman, and that is a tough matchup there. Edwards 6 foot 185, Chambers 6 foot 220.
And Chambers is a physical runner, as you see there, falling forward every time he touches the ball.
Chambers up the middle, and he lowers the shoulder for a good gain on first down. And now we see Coach Brown on the other side calling the plays, trying to get his star tailback going.
Yeah, and right on cue, Chambers heads to the bench for Central Arkansas.
Well, everybody
you
needs-
remain undefeated.
Everybody needs a break sometime. Very different back in there. Chapman McCown, sophomore from Norman, Oklahoma, which is having a good day as far as football fans are concerned. And he's got the ball between the tackles, slithers through, and he is tossed down after a first down carry. But Alabama's 17-game home winning streak comes to an end at the hands of the Oklahoma Sooners and that vicious defense coordinated by their head coach.
And you're seeing that more and more, and it's not as uncommon with head coaches calling plays. You have Dave Aranda at Baylor calling the defensive plays as well. But just finding ways to get your team into the best rhythm.
Myers is going back to the air. Pressure in his face, out to his left. Flips the hips and throws incomplete. Good work on the coverage that time by Sean Mays. Malachi Henry, the intended target. And that was an incompletion, but not an easy throw for Austin Myers to make. He did pretty well.
And giving his receivers a chance on those scramble drills. That one falls incomplete, but puts it in a spot where it either goes out of bounds or his receiver comes down with the catch.
Second down and 10, play clock running down, and Central Arkansas takes a timeout. We'll take it as well. 4:25 to go, first half. Bears on the move. Action resumes, and Landon Chambers continuing to get his legs going, and the Central Arkansas offensive line in a really good spot right now, Dallin.
Yeah, and they forced Southern Utah to empty the box a little bit and put more of an emphasis on the pass defense, and that's allowed Chambers to get open rushing lanes here this drive.
Short of the line to gain, third down for Coach Brown and the Bears. Couple of cowbells in attendance. Myers floats, deep ball, lays it up, incomplete, no flags, and it's fourth down. Ty Durham battling with Sean Mays, who did not get his head around. You surprised this wasn't pass interference?
We'll see it again. Yeah, I think if Southern Utah might have gotten away with that one, but if they're going to let the players play, they've been consistent all night on allowing the same hand fighting.
I would guess if you question the official, he would say that there wasn't enough of an attempt for Durham to come back to the ball. So on fourth down, the Bears are going. Mays rolls under pressure, desperation, heave, and a man comes open. Kostmayer had one catch all season. He's got two on the drive. An unbelievable heave from Austin Myers. It looks like there is a player down behind the play. Myers was a little slow getting up. Looks like he is going to come out of the game, and Caleb Koger, the sophomore from Katy, Texas, who has not attempted a pass since September 13th, jogged onto the field for a moment. Now we've got a stoppage. 21 yards on 4th down and 3 when Myers looked like he had absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, just threw it up there, hoping for the best on 4th down, and comes away with a miraculous throw and catch. Set the Bears up 1st and goal.
Longest catch of the season for Kostmayer. Brandon McLean is talking about something. We don't know what. His microphone is having a malfunction. I don't know if he knows that or if there's anything that can be done about it in real time.
They added about 40 seconds back onto the clock. I think the clock didn't stop for the injury timeout.
It is Koger in there at quarterback. Chambers, the tailback. He's got the ball, veers to the right. Landon Chambers surges in for a touchdown, and we're an extra point away from a tie game with 3:21 to go in the second quarter.
And just Chambers this drive finally got into a rhythm, broke a long rush for 12 yards out, and then they consistently kept giving him the ball. He makes a great jump cut in the backfield to get into the end zone.
Extra point is up, and it is good. 14 apiece. Chambers with his 9th rushing touchdown of the year, up to 30 yards on the ground, and just a completely bruising drive there by this Central Arkansas offense. But I want to go back to that 4th down. Austin Myers, we certainly hope that he's okay and hasn't aggravated that foot injury we talked about earlier. It looked like there was nowhere to go with the football, and somehow he had the vision to see Kostmayer across the field.
Yeah, and just a miraculous play. As we see it again here, as he's getting hit, just throws it in desperation.
Looked like a legal and clean hit by Josh Dunn, applying the pressure. So 2 timeouts, or check that, 3 timeouts remain for Southern Utah. Plenty of time as the kickoff off the right foot of Madsen is caught by Rand Sawyer on the run. He can skedaddle, and he's taken down just shy of the 30 after bursting onto the special team scene, particularly with his kick returns earlier this year. Teams have really made an emphasis to try to keep the ball away from Rand Sawyer or make sure he's got their full attention.
As someone that's really broken out as a freshman for Southern Utah, finding his role not only as the kick returner, but as a gunner on punt and kickoff coverage as well, making key tackles on special teams for Southern Utah, but that's some speed that you just can't teach.
.87 yards and 2 touchdowns at 6.7 per touch for Josh Dye. He starts the drive going to the right, picks his way, accelerates forward, and is out to the 34-yard line. So a gain of about 5 yards there. And the Thunderbirds, regardless of how this drive ends, under no circumstance want to give the ball back to the Bears.
No, there's plenty of time for Southern Utah. Still have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout to work with. She Dye closing in on another 100-yard rushing night.
Remember, Southern Utah had the ball first, so the Bears will get it to start the 3rd quarter. And all they have to do is turn around and give it to number 28. The offensive line in a groove as well, but Josh Dye just seems to always fall forward.
And it's a good crease there from the offensive line, but Dye, as you see, doesn't need a ton of space to get through the hole. Pick up another 1st down for Southern Utah.
Got a nice lead block there from Nico Alila-Faleula, who doesn't have a lot of stats this year, but has been a key part of this Southern Utah run game. Dye again to the right, sheds the first tackle and is able to pick up 3, and Southern Utah will run this down to the 2-minute timeout. Back and forth we go in Cedar City. Thunderbirds trying to retake the lead as we wind down the first half on senior night. Hot, trying to do the same here in 2025. Hard to believe how quickly this season has gone. Just 2 regular season games left. That is Whistler motioning out of the backfield, and is an easy pitch and catch to the far side. Anson Kraut, who had a big game last week, 2 catches and a season high 50. Or check that, Devin Downing brought it in, 80, not 81. Devin Downing with another reception.
And Southern Utah has so many weapons on the outside. Barron does a great job of distributing to everybody. 16 different players for Southern Utah this year have caught a pass from Barron.
Well, and as I was incorrectly identifying the Southern Utah receiver there, it's worth bringing up. Shane Carr had a 100-yard game last week, but Anson Kraut had 54 yards through the air. Gabe Nunez always involved. A lot of ways for Bronson Barron to distribute the football, including just handing it off right up the middle. That is a first down run. Hard-fought yards there for Josh Dye as he is over the century mark here in this first half.
And those are runs that don't look like a lot on a stat sheet, but can wear down a defense, especially going into the second half.
Barron under pressure, gets away, directing traffic, zips one. Nunez tight ropes the sideline and keeps his feet in bounds and stops the clock in the process.
And I don't know how Barron escapes the sack there, or how Nunez was able to get not just one but both feet down there on the sideline. Southern Utah moving right back into field goal range.
Jacoby Shell was roaring off the edge, and Barron elusive enough to get away, and a couple of veterans make a big play there. Dye up the middle with a burst, and he's got another first down carry, 116 yards and counting in this first half. And Southern Utah has to think about not scoring too quickly here. And Dye only able to pick up a couple right there, and I don't think that's the worst thing if you're Southern Utah with where their field goal unit is at, vastly improved from a season ago. They are 13 of 17 between Jaden Rogers and Danny King this year. And a timeout is taken by Coach Brown and the Bears. So Southern Utah on the march right here, and no surprise after the 3 and out. The priority for Will Brunson, the play caller, is to get Josh Dye going, and that's been the driving force for Southern Utah all season. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that might have been brought up on the headset from Delane Fitzgerald on the play calling after those first few drives, and it's worked for Southern Utah. And Bronson Barron's done a great job, as he usually does tonight as well. 12-16, just over 100 yards passing. His ability to pass the ball efficiently like that is what allows Dye to get those light boxes to get the big runs.
And Delane Fitzgerald said about his veteran quarterback that he's really starting to be a huge leader, has been all year, but really has guys that have been following him and the example he sets week in and week out. as they have turned their season around here in the second half. Still 3 timeouts remain for Southern Utah. No need to be in a hurry. They go right back to Dye, and he is hit in the backfield. Falls forward, though, for a small gain on the play. And a timeout taken, I believe, by Central Arkansas, which would be Coach Brown's last. This 3rd and long is coming up here. And boy, that is really good work off of the right side of the play. That was Jacoby Shell that broke free, the Henderson State transfer. Not easy to get through a double team against this Southern Utah front.
No, it's not. He does a great job in Central Arkansas now. A 3rd and 7 on defense with a chance to get the ball back on offense before the end of the half, and they start the second half with the ball.
It was Southern Utah, actually, that called that timeout. And they put Braden Whistler into the game, so you figure this will be a pass of some sort. Thunderbirds need the 12-yard line to keep the drive going. Barron against a 4-man rush. Contested throw intercepted in the end zone. Dylan Williams the other way. Williams with speed, trying to stay on his feet, and he's down at the 44. The ball comes out, but after he was down, Shane Carr saved a touchdown, but Barron's 4th interception of the year keeps points off the board.
And Barron just trying to be aggressive, fit it to Downing, a tight window throw, just a bit underthrown. Interception, and now Central Arkansas, great field position.
One of the leading returners on this Central Arkansas defense, Williams with his 2nd pick of the year. He's their leading tackler from the secondary spot. And Bronson Barron had Devin Downing look like he just did not put enough air under that ball.
Yeah, just underthrown a bit. And that leads to the easy interception. Now Central Arkansas a 1st down or so away from being in field goal range.
The rain really starting to come down. You wonder if that affected the throw. Our sideline reporter Kendall McGuire is down there braving the elements as we speak. Wind and rain on a Saturday night in Cedar. Austin Myers back into the game, a good sign. He goes play action. Time to throw, hit as he lets it go. Has it complete out there to Chambers, who's able to get out of bounds. That's just his 4th reception of the year. The Bears kicker is the redshirt freshman Caleb Jones. His long made field goal this year is 39. Southern Utah, or Central Arkansas rather, would have to get to the 22-yard line of Southern Utah. And boy, that rain is swirling right now. It is only going to get tougher to throw the ball. Myers will try to do it here on a sprint out. Looks down the field and just throws this one away. 3rd down and long with 37 seconds on the game clock, Dallin. If this is not a conversion for Central Arkansas, I imagine Nathan Brown will punt the ball away.
Yeah, I don't think you can try a long field goal in these elements going against the wind.
Yeah, it is blowing into Central Arkansas's direction right now. Crowd comes alive on 3rd and 7. Malachi Henry is the closest receiver in the slot to the right. Southern Utah takes their 2nd timeout, trying to get themselves in order. And Delane Fitzgerald having a word with the officiating crew right now. He's out beyond the numbers. Not sure what he's trying to get his point across about.
Southern Utah was substituting late. I wonder if he's upset at not getting enough time in his mind to substitute.
Well, he was making the indication with his arms like the officials should have stopped the play pre-snap to give Southern Utah time to substitute, and that didn't happen. Anytime the offense substitutes, the defense has to be given the opportunity to do the same. I think he feels like that did not take place. 3rd down and 7. Myers battling the elements here for this Bears offense, trying to take advantage of the turnover from his defense. We have not called Lando Brown's name yet tonight after making a sack. And the ball gets away from Myers. He recovers it back at the 40. Delane Fitzgerald takes a timeout with 31 seconds to go. Seanan Chapel, the Colorado State Pueblo transfer, just could not get a clean one off, and this is going to be a continuous story for the rest of the night.
And a bad snap in the rain gives Myers no choice but to slide on it. And now a difficult spot for the Bears and the punt team, trying to punt against the wind with the wet ball.
Well, Gabe Nunez has to be careful as well. The Thunderbirds don't have any timeouts. If he's able to field it cleanly, Thunderbirds would go with the win, but would not have an opportunity to stop the clock unless they can get out of bounds or briefly with a first down. Beard almost has it blocked. Nunez lets this one bounce, and it runs down. There is a flag behind the play. Southern Utah ran into Trace Beard. They might have full-on roughed him. That's certainly how he's feeling right now, down in a heap. So the referee's mic from Brendan McLean still not functioning at the moment, but there is no flag on the play. Flag was thrown, but it got picked up. He said first down, and I did the best lip reading that I could, and it looked like he said that the Southern Utah defender was blocked into Beard.
And I think that's what the discussion was before that ruling. You see the punter go down and get ran into, and so first you throw the flag, but then the officials get together and discuss what they saw from each of the angles to come to the conclusion that Southern Utah was blocked into him.
So no timeouts. Ball is spotted at Southern Utah's own 20, about 5-yard line. Are you trying for it here as the rain and wind continue down if you're Delane Fitzgerald, or are you taking a knee and go to the half tied at 14?
It's tough. I don't know if Delane Fitzgerald will take a knee. I could see them trying to hand the ball off to Josh Dye. If he can pick up a first down on one carry, then you might get more aggressive and try to get into field goal range, but I don't think you see anything through the air, especially until Southern Utah at least gets that first down.
Now we will hear from Delane Fitzgerald going into the half. Kendall will stop him for an interview, elements and all. So in the gun are the Thunderbirds. Bronson Barron, the veteran, is back to throw. Rolls to the right, dumps it off, Downing the catch. Devin Downing on the run, out close to the 40. They spot him out at the 36, so a gain of 11 yards there. A perfect start as he stops the clock. He beat the linebacker, Nylan Jones.
And right as, like I said, you're going to play aggressive and try to get points here at the end of the half with no timeouts.
You're going to go for it. I wonder how much of this calculation is that the wind is currently at Southern Utah's back, and that will change in the third quarter. Barron to throw. Long one complete. Nunez on the other side of midfield. 11 seconds to go. This has to be a spike for Southern Utah. They run up to the line. And they kill the clock with 9 seconds to go. So a long toss to Gabe Nunez. And you probably have time for one play and killing the clock, I would guess. But boy, it has to be.
It has to be to the sidelines or past the sticks.
It does. And remember that a spike has to use at least 2 seconds on the clock. So you've got to be down with the clock stopped at 3 seconds unless you can get out of bounds. There goes Whistler in motion. Quick hitter. Downing makes the catch. And he's pushed out. Exactly what the Thunderbirds needed in front of Mark Dorsey, the corner. 6 seconds to go, and here we go. Danny King, a one-time UAC Special Teams Player of the Week, lining up for a career-long, this would be a 58-yard try. And a timeout taken by the Bears before. That kick is no good. He had plenty of leg. But it does not count. So Coach Brown icing Danny King, who got a practice rep off anyway. The longest field goal in Southern Utah history is 60 yards. Happened in 1968 and 1969. Danny King against Austin Peay 2 weeks ago hit a 52-yarder that was tied for the second longest field goal in SUU history, matching Steve Pulver in 2007 and Andy Pari in 1985. This would put him alone in second place. From 58 yards, King, it's on the way. It is no good. Had the distance, but couldn't climb it over the crossbar. And there's still a couple seconds, 1 second as a matter of fact, on the clock. Boy, he just
wide.
Pushed it. He had the distance there, kicking with the wind from 58. And now Central Arkansas, certainly you can't try a miraculous field goal from there, but a Hail Mary perhaps, or will they just kneel it out? We'll see what Nathan Brown wants to do.
Going against the wind, even a Hail Mary from here will be a tough ask for Austin Myers. Try and get this to the end zone.
And Myers just hands it off to McCown, who picks his way. He is brought down. And a balanced first half comes to an end at 14 apiece. Your grit and toughness will be measured now on both sidelines as the rain and wind persist, and I don't see any sign.
Explode for Southern Utah in the rushing attack a couple weeks ago. You saw Dye go for 111 yards in the second half in their win here against Austin Peay.
And for the first time today, we have a kickoff return for the Bears. And it is brought out of the end zone by Manny Smith. Just his 9th kick return of the season. So out comes Austin Myers in the offense. 12 of 17, 116 yards, and a touchdown through the air. He was really effective.
He wasn't just taking what Southern Utah gave him in that first half, especially the first quarter in the RPO game. Southern Utah played off coverage. The elements in the wind, I'd expect Southern Utah to tighten up and play closer, as you see here at the top of the screen.
On first down, they go right back to the RPO, and a play is made. Tim Christian with the knockaway. The intended target, Tyrell Pollard, and that's a play that was just easy pitch and catch in the first half.
And Christian made a great break on the ball there. Doesn't get early, but puts his hand right there to knock the ball away.
And they go to the air with their first play of the third quarter. See what they do here on second down and 10. Play action. Myers throws short, incomplete, got hit as he threw. Henry Harper got there, so a third down and 10. And Kendall, you're down there in it. Tell us about the rain and wind right now.
There's not much rain currently, but in the last half it was pouring. The wind is still blowing a lot, and it is definitely feeling the conditions here on the field, Spencer.
That sounds unpleasant. Third down and 10. The Bears in the first half, 1 of 5 on third down, just 36.5% as a team on the season. Whistles blow this one dead. Is this a delay of game or a timeout? It's definitely on the offense, Brandon McLean. At least we can hear him again, Dallin.
Hey, we're improving even on the broadcast side into the second half.
Baby steps, baby steps. So 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd down and 15. Crowd coming alive here on 3rd down. A long way to go for the Bears. Myers has a man. Big hit, catch made. Ty Durham hauls it in for a 1st down. Holy smokes, 18 yards on 3rd and 15. Myers threads the needle, and Durham puts magnets on his gloves to bring that one in.
A great catch over the middle of the field from Durham. Knowing he's going to get hit once he touches the ball, has the concentration to pull it in.
So instead of a 3 and out, the drive alive. Myers with a quick toss. He's got it complete to Pollard, who's wrestled out by Mikey Allen. And that's a gain of 6 yards on 1st down, and that has been there really all night long for this Bears passing attack. And there's an injured Bear down. It looks like it is Pollard who made the catch a moment ago. Junior from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, transferred from Hines Community College. Someone who Coach Brown says is a big, deep threat for this Central Arkansas offense. Good to see him walking off the field under his own power. Couldn't tell exactly what happened here. Might have just been a little bit of an awkward split.
I wonder if landing on the ball knocked the wind out of him a bit. Well, as we expected, though, Central Arkansas comes out in the second half slinging the rock. No rushing attempts yet for the Bears. We're batting 100 tonight on predictions.
I think we're getting demoted to AAA with our batting average on some of the predictions. Certainly aren't making the all-star team. Myers again to the air. He's got a man down the field, drops it down the chimney, and it's a touchdown for Ty Durham. 56 yards. Or do they have him out at the 1? 55 yards. Durham runs right by Lincoln Tuioti Mariner. And, oh boy, on that look, it seemed like he kept his foot off the white. The official right on top of it, though. But a big play, 1st and goal at the 1. Again to the air, on the fade, contested catch, incomplete. Boy, I know Austin Myers is throwing the ball well. You've got a 220-pound running back on the 1-yard line. As a Seahawks fan, I just cannot understand what the thinking is there.
You're right. Instead of the goal line fade, it should have been a slant, is what you're saying.
I can't believe I brought that
up. Too
soon? It's always too soon. It will never not be too soon. I will be 60. Someone will mention it, and it will be too soon. Here is the jumbo package. Myers shifts to go under center. And it's a direct snap on the ground to Chambers, and he's dropped for a loss. 3rd and goal upcoming. Josh Dunn broke through, and you heard Kendall say the rain has died down, but that ground is still wet, and it's the second time Senan Chapel has struggled to get it back. They've got him all the way to the 8-yard line, 3rd and goal.
And that's just an interesting play call there on 2nd and goal with the wet ground. Trying to fake a tush push. Direct snap to the running back. It's just a lot of moving legs to try to snap through.
Especially with the wet ground, just feels like Central Arkansas was outthinking themselves a bit there. And now they'll need to pick up 8 yards. They take a timeout first before the play clock expires. Boy, how big is Ty Durham stepping out at the one, looking right now. 3rd and goal for the Bears, trying to go back in front when we return. 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line for Austin Myers and the Bears. He's got completions of 17 and 55 on this drive. Both of them to Ty Durham. We'll see where he looks here on 3rd and 8. Durham is not on the field. Myers sprints. Running out of room, steps out, gets hit out of bounds by Joe Tongamoa, and there is the flag. Oh, it was going to be a field goal try. Instead, it will be 1st and goal, and an unforced error there for this Thunderbirds defense.
And really bailing Central Arkansas out of another play call. You have your quarterback who's not mobile in Myers rolling out, eliminating half of the field there.
I mean, he is...
It's a quarterback. And
it is, and his body language was that of a guy going out of bounds. I think that's why he's getting benefit of the doubt.
So, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, the penalty is enforced, not to distance to the goal line, automatic, 1st down.
Oh boy, what a swing after Central Arkansas shot themselves in the foot with the bad snap. Southern Utah gives it right back, and it's 1st and goal from just outside the 2-yard line. Thunderbirds not a heavily penalized team, 49 yards per game. A costly one there, fresh set of downs. Chambers, the tailback, he's got the ball, and he leaps over a man in for the touchdown, and the Bears recapture the lead.
And Central Arkansas learning from their first set of goal-to-go situations at the goal line on this drive. Find number 0 in White and let him do the heavy work.
Caleb Jones comes on for the extra point. Heck of a story, Caleb Jones. A walk-on, though Coach Brown says that won't be for long. Won the battle in camp just before the Missouri game and has been dynamite this season. He makes it 21-14. Central Arkansas with a couple of big pass plays. They lead on the road.
This one 9 plays, 75 yards. The big 55-yard catch got them down goal to go, and then a personal foul late hit on Southern Utah gave the Bears a second chance at 6.
Tyler Madsen boots this one through the end zone for a touchback. Let's check in with Kendall McGuire. Are you staying warm down there, Kendall?
Indeed, Spencer. I have acquired a hot chocolate here on the chilly, rainy sidelines, brought to me by my mom. It is quite the windy, chilly conditions, but it's a fun vibe down here, Spencer.
That is awesome. Are you a marshmallow whipped cream sort of gal when it comes to hot chocolate?
Ooh, I do love a marshmallow. Not huge on the whipped cream, but I'll do a good marshmallow for sure.
Were you able to acquire one for the hot chocolate you currently have? Yeah, we might be losing Kendall a little bit there, but that's okay. So rest assured, Kendall is doing just fine. Southern Utah's offense looking for a bounce back here. First carry for Braden Whistler is a good one. Makes a cut out near the 40-yard line. Whistler, who had no rushes last week for the first time this season, provides a spark to begin the drive and gains 15.
And caught the Central Arkansas defense off guard there. Usually when Whistler's in the game, it's a pass. This time he makes him pay with his legs. 15 yards there for Southern Utah, starting this drive on track.
After a drive that was certainly frustrating, I'm sure, for Southern Utah, the 3rd and 15, the personal foul that set up the goal-to-go situation from a momentum standpoint. This is a very important drive for the Thunderbirds.
It is, though, still early in the 3rd quarter. Southern Utah offensively needs to find a way to at least pick up a few first downs, give their defense a chance to regroup and make some second half adjustments, if you will, after that opening third quarter drive from the Bears, but at least move it down the field and try to flip the field position.
Josh Dye's first carry didn't go anywhere, so on a 2nd down and 10, he gets it once more, makes a hard cut. Josh Dye with a lane, a 1st down run, and he's over 130 yards on the night on 22 carries.
And once again, Dye with the cut in the backfield. The Central Arkansas defensive line gets some good pressure, but finds a way to find the open lane, pick up another Southern Utah 1st down.
Quickly on the other side of midfield go the Thunderbirds. Dye to the right, slithers through. And he picks up a few yards, running, of course, behind Ed Riley. For more on him, here's Kendall.
Ed Riley is a senior center for the Southern Utah Thunderbirds, and quite simply put, he's the heart and soul of the offensive line. Delane Fitzgerald said earlier this week, offense goes as Ed goes. Spencer, back to you.
Yeah, and the way they run the ball starts with him. He has been such a key cog in that unit up front. Went to St. John Bosco High School. And Will Burns is into the game for the first time, keeps it around the left edge. Here goes Will Burns, the future quarterback for Southern Utah. Has been bottled up a bit the last few weeks, lost his helmet right there, and that's very telling for how ferociously he runs.
He doesn't run like your typical quarterback, but Burns might have thought he had a couple plays when he came in. The helmet coming off brings Barron back in for this 3rd and short.
Now the rain really starting to pick up again. That tackle made by someone who I'd like to submit for the first team All-American name squad in college football. And it looks like this will be a free 5 as Central Arkansas jumped across. Get back to the all-name selection here after the call from Brendan McLean. Oh, and they're calling this a false start against Southern Utah.
False start. Offense, number 79. Five-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jeremy Perkins flinched in reaction to the movement up front. It certainly seemed, unless they deemed that there was not an entrance into the neutral zone, but even then, something like that would be a disconcerting signal. I am surprised that went the way it did.
The only way that I could see them coming to that conclusion, the officials, is it saying that Perkins reacted too late to the jump.
So 3rd and 4 becomes 3rd down and 9. Bronson Barron to the air. Steps up, has some room. Barron makes a cut. Bronson Barron keeping the legs going, and he's got the 1st down. Oh, what a play there by Bronson Barron. 2nd time he's moved the sticks with his legs, and got a great block there from Hayden Erickson, the tight end.
Bronson Barron taking a page out of Josh Dye's book there with the jump cut to get a 1st down. I don't know if even anyone on Southern Utah's sideline was expecting that move.
Josh Dye back out there. Alila Faliula, Erickson, and Kraut, the 3 to the left. Dye runs in that direction. Crush Sowers pulling around, flags down behind the play. And we will check on those. By the way, I did not forget about the All-American name selection. Defensive back Dude Person for Central Arkansas has to be very high on the list. That is...
They're fouled by each team. Holding, offense, number 79. Personal foul, either hands in the face. Defense, number 41. The foul's offset. 1st down.
Jeremy Perkins and Travion Traylor whistled for the offsetting infractions, but Dude Person as simultaneously a simple and awesome name as I think we have come across.
It doesn't get simpler or better than that. He's a dude out on the field for the Bears defense.
3 pass breakups, a fumble recovery, and a forced fumble this year. Josh Dye trying to avoid one of those right up the middle, running behind Ed Riley. Now Southern Utah has run for just over 170 yards here in this one. The Central Arkansas defense has been inconsistent this year. They have allowed over 150 rush yards 6 times, tonight being the 7th. When you're going up against a Southern Utah team, that can be tough. But at midway point of the third quarter, 14 points allowed to a really potent SUU offense. That's a good place for defense coordinator Greg Williams to be. And flags blow this play dead. It looks like we might have another false start against Southern Utah, and indeed we do.
False start. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Cy Candielli, the Arizona State transfer who starts at left tackle.
Penalties starting to become a story for Southern Utah here in the second half.
They give up the middle to Dye. He looks for a lane. He's grabbed by his face mask, it looks like. Unless I just didn't see it correctly, but Southern Utah not asking for anything, so that sets up 3rd down and 8. Yeah, there's a left hand in there. That could have been. It almost looked like Jalen Spencer came to block Dye's helmet from the official. That would have had an angle on it. Tough call for the crew to be able to make. 3rd down and 8. This time the Bears are offside. Barron, a free play. Deep shot on the back shoulder. How about the snare? Devin Downing brings it in. Heads up play by the veteran Bronson Barron to take his shot.
Defense number 90 in the new zone. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Perfect back shoulder throw. Downing with a sideline catch. Did a great job of putting his hands up late and reacting to the ball so the defense of Central Arkansas couldn't get back to it.
1st down, goal to go for the Thunderbirds. There is that man Dye. Squeaks forward just shy of the 5-yard line. Every touchdown he scores sets one more in the column of his own career record. If you just joined us, he set the single season SU rushing touchdowns record, passing Targi Lamson from last year. Dye has 24 scores. There's a Bear down on defense. And it looks like we are going to step aside. Oh boy. All right, on that note. Goal to go for the Thunderbirds as they look to tie the game up here with 5:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. Spencer McLaughlin, Dallin Richards, Kendall McGuire, our entire production crew on hand, many of whom are also down in the rain and wind. The rain continuing to be steady here at Eccles Coliseum. The wind has died down, so at least there is that. Downing, the receiver to the left, the only one in the formation. Dye runs to the right, accelerates, looking for the pylon, cuts it up, lunges, and looks like they've got him out before he hit the pylon, which he did on the dive. Yeah, just a little bit. If you call the center of the white, a little bit.
Well, it was a little bit in terms of the foot barely touched when he made the dive. But the foot touching did come first.
So 3rd down and goal. Ball on the 3-yard line. It's Dye to the left. Josh Dye gets another, his 3rd of the night. And Southern Utah strikes back.
I don't know if there was a single person in Cedar City that didn't know what play was coming, but Southern Utah's offensive line and Josh Dye make it work for yet another 3-touchdown performance on the year.
His 2nd straight game with 3 touchdowns. Jaden Rogers on for the all-important game-tying extra point. And he's got it. 21 all. Southern Utah. 12 plays, 75 yards, 708. Time-consuming drive, and Josh Dye's 3-yard touchdown caps it off. And boy, after that drive where Southern Utah made a couple of noticeable mistakes, that was a big momentum swing for this Thunderbirds team.
It was, and I take that drive back to Bronson Barron, saving it with his legs after a false start on 3rd and 4, makes it 3rd and 9. Barron scrambles for 10 yards to keep that drive alive, and Josh Dye ends it with a touchdown.
Danny King to boot it away. They have sent Ty Durham back there. His long return this season, 42 yards. King with a boot. Durham will watch it go through. So back to the field. Austin Myers, broken foot and all. You wouldn't know it watching him play today. 15 of 23, 195 yards and a touchdown. And Landon Chambers has 2 scores, but 10 carries for 25 yards. Southern Utah has bottled him up. He's not the explosive runner that Josh Dye is, but 2.5 yards a carry, well below what he's accustomed to.
Yeah, they've done a good job of keeping him contained and not allowing even rushes of 10, 15, 20 yards to break off. Once Chambers, Zero, and White touches the ball, there's almost always been 3 gray jerseys around him.
Myers flings one out to the far side. Barron Taylor there to make the stop on Ty Durham. And a penalty flag down behind the play. Southern Utah's sideline not happy that it's there. This might be roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 94. 15-yard penalty. Personal.
Kavion Hicks, the guilty party. Let's see. Ooh, boy, that was not exactly late. Went out of that camera angle's view unless they're saying it was high. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it was definitely close. The only other thing would have been if they thought he hit a little high on Myers, but
Myers throwing this time. Dangerous throw. Mikey Allen off the carom has another pick. Oh, magnificent for his 3rd of the year. Stuck with it all the way. And Austin Myers has thrown his 7th interception of the year.
what a play from Mikey Allen, not only to get a deflection initially, but to control himself going down off the tip to get the interception. A big swing point here in the 3rd quarter.
7th interception of the year for this Southern Utah defense, 6th in their last 5 games. Delane Fitzgerald fired up, and his team in plus territory. Josh Dye hits a crease and picks up 5. Boy, the concentration it takes with a wet ball out there. I mean, he caught that with his back even to the ground 3 feet in the air.
And that was one of those plays where you find yourself in the air and don't know how you're going to land, but Mike Allen only focuses on the ball and holds on to it through the ground.
Dye gets the handoff, tries to go out to the left, but he is caught from behind. Great pursuit by Bradley Clark. He's got 3.5 TFLs on the year and makes it 3rd down and 5. Not easy to get Josh Dye down.
It's not, and you see Dye trying to bounce to the outside there off the inside zone. Just couldn't quite hit the edge.
3rd down and a long 5. They dropped him for about a half-yard loss. Money down has typically been Gabe Nunez time all season long. Barron to throw, steps up. Is he going to run for another one? Yes, he is. Look at Bronson Barron rolling his way up the field with Justin Miller in the house, and Southern Utah moves the sticks.
I was just going to talk about how Bronson Barron using his legs tonight has reminded me of Justin Miller's senior day when he wasn't a running quarterback then against Utah Tech, came out and had a few key rushes on passing downs to move the sticks as Barron does once again.
Is it time to have the conversation about whether Bronson Barron is a dual threat quarterback?
That might be a question that comes up post-game.
Indeed it might. He's throwing on the RPO and skips it at the feet of Shane Carr. Might have been deflected or it slipped out of his hand. 2nd and 10. Carr had a touchdown.
And it looks like it slipped out of Barron's hand. As soon as he released the ball, he looked down at his hand and started wiping it on his pants leg.
Bronson Barron, because the NCAA includes sack yardage, entered today with minus 25 yards on the ground. He has 3 carries for 26 yards. His 12-yard run ties a season long. Dye has done it all on the ground this year, and he just about had his 4th touchdown, but Ashton Williams got him by his shoelace.
And a shoelace was all that kept Dye out of the end zone for the 4th time tonight. He's just one of those backs that every time he touches the ball, you expect it to go to the house.
8 yards sets up 3rd and 2. They go right to Dye. He goes right ahead for the first down. Over 165 here tonight to have a chance at the all-time record if he were to split the games evenly in these last 2 matchups. He'd need to average 190 yards per game plus 1, and he is over 165. At 167, the official tally. And he is still back there. They fake the toss. Man wide open. Nunez down inside the 5. Popped out of bounds. Goal to go as Dylan Williams slid over and saved the touchdown.
And that fake toss fooled the Central Arkansas defense, a play Southern Utah ran on their first 3rd down of the night when Central Arkansas brought Dye down in the backfield for a loss. This time they bite on the play fake, leaving Nunez wide open for a 1st down.
6th catch of the night for Nunez. Southern Utah goes jumbo here. Ed Riley, the center, is offset to the left. Dye gets the ball, running behind him, keeps the legs churning, falls forward. Is he in? No signal yet. Looks like they've got him short. Josh Dye pointing to the replay, thinking that he was in. We'll see if a review gets initiated. Otherwise, it's 2nd and goal at the half-yard line.
Definitely looked close on the replay angle.
Kind of seemed like he almost stayed on top of bodies for a moment to give him the chance to reach it out. But nothing from the booth. Same formation. Same play. Josh Dye. This time there's no doubt. Southern Utah retakes the lead on Josh Dye's 4th touchdown of the night. Oh, Bronson Barron fooled everybody, including me. He walked into the end zone. The most nonchalant keeper of the season. Boy, he guarded that ball well, and Bronson Barron runs for his 1st touchdown of the year. And Josh Dye's 4th will have to wait. Jaden Rogers up and good.
Bronson Barron, that play, doing his best Peyton Manning impersonation on the naked bootleg.
Just hobbling around the right edge for a touchdown. 9 plays, 48 yards in 4:45, and Barron's 2-yard run caps it off.
Now I think we can officially call Bronson Barron a dual threat quarterback.
I think that declaration has to get made. 7-point Southern Utah lead with 4 seconds to go in the third quarter. What else does this game have in store? The interception turns into 7 points. Thunderbirds were shut out in the first quarter. They scored 14 in the second and 14 in the third. Obviously a great fake from Barron off the same formation, the same play call, just with the read, but the way he turned from us, I could not see the ball, and he was barely moving, so I just presumed he'd given it. And by the way, I think Josh Dye would have scored as well if he'd gotten the football.
Yeah, Bronson Barron fooling everybody, and I mean, I would have assumed that Southern Utah handed the ball off to the school's all-time rushing touchdown getter in a season. I guess that's why I don't call the plays.
Will Brunson does that, doing a heck of a job. Here is Landon Chambers on first down with his best run of the day, dragging defenders, and he's got a gain of 20 to end the third quarter. The Bears trail by 7 on the road as we head to the fourth on Senior Day in Cedar City. We've got a battle brewing between the Bears and the Thunderbirds. Touchdowns not for tonight. For more on him anyway, here's Kendall.
It is no secret that Josh Dye is an incredible running back. He came into the game tonight with 22 rushing touchdowns, needing 2 for the outright single-season rushing touchdown record for SUU. Well, as Spencer said, he has 3. He told me that he pictures himself doing sellies before the game because it means he got into the end zone already. Coach Brown said that he runs like his hair is on fire, meaning he's a really passionate runner. Spencer, back to you.
Yeah, we have seen that passion on display all night long. The number of times you go back to his first touchdown, it looks like he's bottled up, stuck, small gain. Then all of a sudden, he just emerges out the backside. He has been that way all season long for Southern Utah, transferring over from UTEP.
And just keeps his legs churning through the pile and then finds ways to get skinny and find those creases to break off the big plays.
With a quarter to go, this is still very much a tightly contested ball game. Third all-time meeting between these programs. That'll be playing in different conferences next year. And Henry Harper finally gets home. 5.5 sacks this year, and he was storming off the edge.
It was almost untouched there off the edge for the sack. The first sack either defense has come up with tonight.
Had one last week as well. That sets up 3rd down and 14. Bears 2 of 7 on the money down. And they just hand it off to Chambers. He runs left. Lando Brown helps get him to the ground. Flying to the football was a big key for Delane Fitzgerald coming into this game. Southern Utah does a good job there on the long handoff.
And the Thunderbirds recognize it's 3rd and long, so they have plenty of time to get off the carry to Chambers. Brown does a good job initially getting there and slowing Chambers down to let his friends join in.
Trace Beard on for the punt. Nunez back deep.
Thank you. I'm so excited. But I'm also like, what now? What do I
Nunez runs up, signals for the fair catch, and is able to make it. Kendall, what'd you see down on the sideline for Southern Utah defensively on that last drive?
Yeah, Southern Utah was without their best linebacker, Sebastian Adamski, on his senior night. He's known for his consistency and leadership, but he was on the bike on the sidelines for that last drive with a heat pack on his knee. Hopefully he can get back out on the field as he's looking for his 100th tackle of the season tonight, Spencer.
Yeah, came into it looking for that particular mark. We'll step aside when we get back. Southern Utah up. 12:48 to go. Thunderbirds looking for their 5th consecutive win. In the last 2 and only 2 meetings between these 2 programs, Dallin, the road teams are 2-0. Thunderbirds looking to flip that script. And Josh Dye, 33 carries to match his total from last week, but shows no signs of slowing down.
Oh, Dye's been consistent since the second quarter on for the Thunderbirds.
Will Burns is in there at quarterback. He hands to Dye, and he's taken down behind the line. First TFL for Dylan Williams, their leading tackler this season. And that is just simply put a rarity for this Thunderbirds offense.
And Central Arkansas, good job there getting to Dye in the backfield. Easier said than done. That time a tackle for loss. Dye, you said 34 carries now, no sign of slowing down.
He has touchdown runs of 25 and 15 yards, but hasn't broken the long one yet today. And he is stuffed up here. So 3rd down and very long. And this is exactly the sort of response Central Arkansas's defense was looking for if they can get off the field.
It is, and they've done a good job on 1st and 2nd down stopping Dye. And in the second half with the wet ball, I've noticed Josh Dye being more conservative on his rushing attempts up the middle, where he's holding the ball with 2 hands rather than trying to break tackles in the mush. Just making sure he holds onto the ball is ball security, #1 priority for Southern Utah.
3rd down and 12. Bronson Barron to Shane Carr. He's got the 1st down and a little more. A tumbling somersault as he makes his first splash play of the night. And Kendall, he's off a big game last week.
Indeed, Spencer. Last week, he had his first 100-yard game, totaling 7 catches for 124 yards. Coach Brown says that he just doesn't get enough recognition for his big plays.
And Coach Fitzgerald said he felt like he played to his full potential last week in a breakout performance. Didn't have a touchdown, but both teams with long conversions on 3rd down here in the second half. See if Southern Utah can turn it into points. Dye lowers the shoulder and Submarines forward for 3. That is carry number 36 for Josh Dye, which moves him into 4th place by himself, passing Brooke Madsen against Cal Poly in 1996 for the most carries in a game. The record is 44. Steve Clodfelter against Western New Mexico back in 1972. 21 years before Southern Utah made the jump to Division I. Barron is throwing here, and he's going down here. Dalen Land with his first sack of the year in the Morehouse College transfer puts Southern Utah right back to 3rd and long.
Great move there to get to Barron. Barron couldn't escape in time. The first sack the Southern Utah offensive line has given up tonight.
3rd down and 15. They converted a 3rd and 12 just a moment ago. Bears defense looking for a big stop. Barron tries to set up the screen. Central Arkansas ready for it as a flag flies. Unless this is against the Bears defensive line, Central Arkansas will get the ball back.
Offense, number 63. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, they had Cy Kenda Yelly there. So Greg Williams' defense stiffens And with just over 9 minutes to go in the game, Southern Utah will punt it back to the Bears.
And the Bears got the stop when they needed it most. Their offense a chance to go back and tie the game. Still 9 minutes left. Plenty of time for fireworks here in Cedar City.
Danny King rolls out, gets away a really good punt, and it is muffed. That ball is live down on the sideline. I don't think Southern Utah got to it. Chapman McCown just never made a solid attempt to catch it, and Central Arkansas can exhale a sigh of relief. Bears will be on offense when we get back. A near disaster, but Austin Myers will have a chance to tie the game. Cedar City, where for the moment the wind remains steady, but the rain has calmed down from earlier, and that should help out Austin Myers in this Bears offense. Down by 7, a deep shot here on first down. Coming back to the ball, Malachi Henry, who his head coach says is the best receiver in the UAC. He's fired up, and a big play on first down.
And a great back shoulder throw. There, another play action RPO look, and just a great catch there from Henry.
300-yard games in his last 6 outings coming into this one. They give up the middle to Chambers, and it takes more than one red helmet to get him on the ground.
And Chambers has found a way to get his average yards per carry back above 4 here tonight. But the Southern Utah defense, aside from the 20-yard rush that last drive, has done an excellent job of keeping him contained.
Clock winding inside of 8 minutes. They give to Chambers with a lane. Landon Chambers over the top, dragging Josh Dunn and 2 other Thunderbirds down inside the 30. And this ground game for Central Arkansas that goes for 165 a game had just 57 before that touch by Chambers, and what an effort there.
Great effort, not just the hurdle, but continuing to run with Josh Dunn of Southern Utah wrapped around him, fighting for those extra yards, getting the Bears back inside the 30.
He gets a rest as Chambers, as Chapman McCown, who muffed the punt a moment ago, is in there at running back. Chambers coming up on a 100-yard game. It's McCown who goes to the right. Stromstad and Crump crash together to get him down after a short gain. Boy, Central Arkansas being pretty deliberate with the clock here. You think about how much time you can take off of each time you pick up a first down. I wonder if that isn't at the back of the mind of Nathan Brown for Central Arkansas here. Pollard, the motion man. Myers to throw. He flings it out to Pollard, who drops it. So a 3rd down and long upcoming here for the Bears, who would certainly want to stay out of 4th down and long. And the kicking game has been reliable, but with a wet field, maybe a little wet ball, the wind blowing, you wonder how aggressive Coach Brown would be.
You also have to remember 6:21 still a lot of time, but Central Arkansas had to use a timeout in the 3rd quarter to avoid a delay of game.
Bears 2 of 8 on 3rd down. Myers looks left, takes the deep shot, got a man, and Myers threw it out of the back of the end zone. Malachi Henry had Raymond Crump beat, and it's 4th down and 9. Offense staying on the field.
And Lando Brown doesn't get a sack for Southern Utah there, but rushed Myers' throw into the end zone just enough that forced him to sail it.
Bears on the season 10 of 24 on 4th down, 1 of 1 tonight. Crowd coming alive as Southern Utah's defense looks for a big stop. Myers zips, knocked away. Mikey Allen once again involved for Southern Utah, and the Thunderbirds turn Central Arkansas over on downs. 28-21, 6:11 to go. It's which defense holds, and for the second time today, it's Mikey Allen with an impact moment for this Thunderbirds defense.
Yeah, got the interception on the drive before for Southern Utah, but this one, a 4th down stop with the pass breakup, was as big as any. Mikey Allen plays aggressive going after the ball there. That's completed. It's not only a 1st down, but could have been a touchdown for the Bears.
Bronson Barron back out there to lead this Southern Utah offense. Josh Dye runs to the right and slips. Might have lost a yard on the play, and that looked like it was a turf monster that got him as much as anything.
And it can be tough on turf once it gets wet. Doesn't dry out as fast as I think athletes would like. So it can make it hard if you don't adjust your cleats to get some of those longer spikes to go up against the wet turf.
Well, now it's Southern Utah being judicious with their clock management. They go right back to Dye, who tries to get to the edge, and he's got it. Josh Dye to the outside, and Williams saved an even bigger play, but that moves the sticks, and that is a Josh Dye patented run.
And that's a great chase down from behind. Dye was planning on cutting that to the outside all the way. Dye's not an easy player to catch up from behind once he hits the edge.
Damari Smith had the initial look at him, and when you're anyone, defensive back, defensive lineman, linebacker, whoever's responsible for outside contain against Josh Dye has to be incredibly sound in his assignment. It is Whistler who gets the carry here, and he trudges forward for a gain of 2. We wind inside of 5 minutes to go, and Southern Utah is, I think, going to keep snapping this ball with about 2 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, Southern Utah, no rush. Bears with just 2 timeouts left and the 2-minute timeout as they try to get the ball back. Be interesting to see when Coach Brown starts to use those last 2 timeouts here. 2nd and 8 right now for Southern Utah. I don't think you use it above 3 minutes, but definitely before the 2-minute timeout if they can stop Southern Utah for a loss or no gain.
Bronson Barron to throw. He's got Shane Carr dragging across the field. He's swallowed up immediately, and oh boy, looks like a man is down. And it looks to be okay. That was L.J. Hewitt, Mississippi Gulf Community College in Missouri transfer, running with the speedy Shane Carr. He's got Southern Utah with a 3rd down and 2. No surprise, Josh Dye, the tailback. Everybody in tight. He's got the ball. He shuffles, he surges, and he does not have it. 4th down and 2. Decision time for Delane Fitzgerald. I think on your own side of the field, you're punting this ball.
Yeah.
But first try to see if you can get Central Arkansas to jump offside. They won't even do that as the punt team comes on.
Almost surprised that Central Arkansas doesn't use a timeout. Could have gotten the ball back with over 3 minutes left in the game. So it'll be closer to 2.5 minutes.
Danny King on to punt. He's had a very good day. Plenty of time to get this one away. Fair catch called for, not made. Josiah Dye touched it first, I thought, but Southern Utah either way downs it inside the 10. Special teams effort by Colin Haig, the backup safety. What a punt there by Danny King as he flips the field. A 46-yard punt. And they put the ball at the 6-yard line. So there is where Central Arkansas takes over. And I'm not surprised at the punt. I am surprised, given that Central Arkansas has jumped or almost jumped 2 or 3 times tonight, that the Thunderbirds didn't at least try and draw them offside.
And especially where Southern Utah and Elaine Fitzgerald have shown that they're aggressive in going for it on 4th down, especially 4th and short. Try to get a free first down.
So here is the redshirt junior from Vilonia, Arkansas, Austin Myers, to try and lead a game-tying drive. And he starts simply with a handoff to Landon Chambers. And a flag flies after the play. Shaylin Payne, the right tackle, was pointing at the official, I think looking for the flag. Could Southern Utah give another free 15?
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 7, 15-yard penalty. First down.
And that is the standout defensive end, Lando Brown. What a start to the drive. One play, and the Bears are out beyond their own 35. And you saw there was a little jarring back and forth, and I think that in Lando Brown's view, that was a case of the second guy getting punished to the 38-yard line, a 32-yard pickup. Long shot here, back shoulder, incomplete. This time Henry can't win the battle with Tim Christian.
And Southern Utah, a team that hasn't been penalized a ton this year, have had timely penalties that have kept Central Arkansas drives alive or kick-started them. 8 penalties for 68 yards. Central Arkansas just 3 penalties for 25 yards.
Cleaning up the penalties was a point of emphasis for Elaine Fitzgerald coming into this game. And they are over their season average of 49 per. 2nd down and 10 for the Bears. They go with a handoff up the middle. What a bruising run by Landon Chambers. Looking like Jerome Bettis there as he just backed his way through a couple of tackles. That looked like it was going to be a 1-yard gain.
Just kept his legs churning to get positive yards, set up a 3rd and short coming out of the 2-minute timeout.
3rd down, and officially it's 4. The Bears need to keep the drive going. Down 7 in Cedar. Thriller coming your way next. 3rd down and 4 here at Eccles Coliseum. Spencer McLaughlin with you alongside Dallin Richards. Kendall McGuire roaming the sidelines. Austin Myers behind center for the Bears. Looking to snap a 3-game losing skid. They hand it off. Chambers off one tackle, bouncing forward, and he pinballs his way across midfield for a 1st down. He's over the century mark, having a really good second half.
And that's Central Arkansas trusting their bell cow on 3rd down to pick up the 1st down. Situation where Central Arkansas knows they need a touchdown on this drive.
Jamal Mull, the right guard, with a great block there. Chambers spun around like a top as he got walloped, and he picks up a yard on the play. 2 timeouts left for Nathan Brown's team, and 90 seconds to go, and they have to have a touchdown.
I don't know if I've ever seen a running back bounce off of Joe Tongamoa like that.
Yeah, it is not an easy feat. Chambers brings with him a lot of force. Boy, a lot of time coming off here for Central Arkansas. They go play action. Here comes Brown. Deep shot to the sideline. Overthrown, incomplete. Henry thought he was grabbed with his face mask. There is no flag. It's 3rd and 9. Again, Tim Christian wins the battle.
And after the play, Lando Brown sat on the field for a moment just thinking, how much faster do I have to be getting into the backfield to take the sack lead once again in the nation?
He's got 12. The leader has got 12 and a half. Joshua Stone King of Furman. 3rd and 9. We'll see if Lando Brown can get home. Play clock at 5. Bears do not want to have to burn a timeout here. They hand it off on 3rd down and 9, and it goes backwards. Timeout. Nathan Brown, who gave it to Cam Young, their 3rd string running back, trying to catch Southern Utah napping, and the Thunderbirds were ready.
having to use that last or another timeout here for Central Arkansas. Stop the clock before this fourth down. It's the fourth down and the ball game now for the Bears.
Now with one timeout remaining, this has to be a conversion. Southern Utah knocked off Central Arkansas last year, 31-24 in Conway, part of a 4-game losing skid for the Bears after a 6-2 start. Looking for payback, but they have to convert here to keep the drive alive. Central Arkansas scored first. The teams exchanged 14-point runs after that. And it all comes down to this, 4th and 11. Myers 17 of 31 for 224 yards tonight. Back to throw, here comes the rush. Myers to his left, to the far side, high, incomplete, no flags. Southern Utah's winning ways continue, and a defensive stand here at Eccles Coliseum is the icing on the cake.
And the pass rush for Southern Utah only comes away with 1 sack on the night, but constantly in the face of Austin Myers, forcing him to overthrow his receivers. Come up big again, that time Josh Dunn in the backfield.
The streak continues for Southern Utah defensively. Since the bye, they have not allowed more than 24 points. Before the bye, they didn't allow fewer than 24 points. And they only did so once. And they come up with another big moment. A game-sealing interception a few weeks ago. As it looks like a Bear is being helped off. That's Tyrell Pollard, the wide receiver, who's been dinged up a couple times tonight. Southern Utah will move to 6-5, 5-2 in conference play with a road trip to North Alabama up next week. The best play call on any offensive coordinator's play sheet. Victory on 1.
Think they ever go on 2?
Don't think I've ever seen that before. Abilene Christian will be the final regular season opponent for Nathan Brown's team next week. A chance for a ranked win to try and cause some chaos. Southern Utah, for the second straight year, rattles off a win streak in the second half of the season of at least 5 games. They'll look to make it 6 on the road next week. They started this 2025 season at home with a win. They end their home slate at Eccles Coliseum with a win. How sweet it feels for Southern Utah. 5 in a row. And the Thunderbirds knock off the Bears 28-21.
A great all-around effort from Southern Utah, answering back after Central Arkansas rattled off 14 straight points to retake the lead. Thunderbirds answer back, and it's on the back of Josh Dye, as it has been all season.
39 carries for the Thunderbirds tailback. One of the 3 most carries anyone's had in a Thunderbird uniform in program history. 181 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has the SUU single season rushing touchdowns record to himself. He'll have a chance to add to it next week. He'll have a chance to go for the yardage record as well. Kendall McGuire's standing by with Delane Fitzgerald.
Coach, your 5th straight win, what does this mean to your team?
It means we've won 5 straight.
Your defense held up again. How proud are you of your guys?
Kendall, in this world, there's no such thing as an ugly bride, an ugly baby, or an ugly win, but it was real close tonight, real close. We played down, didn't play very well tonight, but we'll take the win and enjoy it tonight.
What do your seniors mean to this program?
They mean a world to our football program, to our coaching staff, to our university, to our athletic program. A lot of great young men that have poured their heart into this university and our football program.
Thank you so much, Coach, and congratulations.
Thank you. Go Thunderbirds.
Delane Fitzgerald never having to pry a good quote out of the Thunderbirds head man. That'll do it for us here on the broadcast side. For Kendall McGuire and my analyst, Dallin Richards, I'm Spencer McLaughlin saying so long with our outstanding crew as well. This has been a production of ESPN. All games streaming live or archived in the ESPN app. Southern Utah wins 28-21 over the Bears. They'll look to make it a second straight campaign at 7-5 next week against North Alabama. We hope you enjoyed it, everybody. I know we certainly did. We'll see you next time, whenever and wherever that may be. Until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest